Shalom. Ko holo Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Raha Hakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Debar, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those that are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. Especially to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Today, just got a quick video, and just a couple scriptures. And if the Lord put it in my spirit to post, to bring out any other scriptures, I'll do so. But the first thing I want to bring out is the bubonic plague. The bubonic plague. And as you can see, it says a rare but serious bacterial infection that's transmitted by fleas. The bubonic plague is caused by a bubonic Yersinia pestis. It says it can be spread through contact with infected fleas. Okay, it says symptoms include swelling lymph nodes, which can and I'm gonna click here just to read this off, which can be as large as chicken eggs. Wow. In the groin, armpit, and neck. It says they may be tender and warm. Others include fever, chills, headaches, fatigue, and muscle aches. Bubonic plague requires urgent hospital treatment, and with strong antibiotics. Okay, and so last time, I thought about the bubonic plague, there also was calling it the Black Death. And I just did an AI review, not going to go too deep, just going to read this portion. It says it was actually as you can see here, where it just shows, yes, many people survived the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death. While the plague caused widespread death, a significant portion of the population did survive, and these survivors passed on genetic mutations that provided some resistance to the disease. So, and as we can see, right, many of these plagues, this was like years, hundreds of years ago, actually. I didn't get the date as far as when it was, and I'm not going to go that far into it. But, and so I got this video I'm going to play, and it is fair use, just doing it for educational purposes. But I'm going to hit play on the video, then I'm going to bring out a couple scriptures. Hopefully, it's edifying, alarming of some sort to the elect believers. Okay, here we go.
I think it's crazy. I didn't even know the plague was still something that was going on.
For both visitors and residents of South Lake Tahoe, it's shocking to hear about a case of the bubonic plague.
This was very news to me, and that's scary.
But the cases are rare, but they do occur.
Heather Orchard, the nursing manager for El Dorado County Public Health, says plague bacteria are commonly found in higher elevation areas. It's carried by rodents and often transmitted by fleas.
So this person was camping in an area in South Lake Tahoe and was bitten, likely by a flea.
That person is now getting medical treatment and recovering at home.
A lot of the symptoms are very common: nausea, vomiting, muscle aches, a bite that they may have noticed.
While these cases can be serious, they are curable.
It's treated with antibiotics and it's early identification.
The last human case of plague in El Dorado County was in 2020, but officials are routinely tracking it. So far this year, 4 rodents have tested positive in the Tahoe Basin.
We should have something letting people know that, hey, be careful, wear something. We should make some aware to people.
Still, there are a lot of questions from people who frequent the area.
Is this the only place it's been happening?
About a disease they first read about in their history books and the latest person to test positive.
We thank you for watching.
So as you can see, the bubonic plague, it at one point in time, and a lot of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians were affected. by that plague. And so the Lord, he has, this message, because of course it's now it's reaching, along with many other diseases, things are being affecting the other nations. So this is just getting straight to the point. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And of course, this is dealing with the curses that was placed upon our people. Again, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we were greatly affected by these things and still under these curses. But there's something that the Lord is actually doing. And so this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 59. It says, the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and a sore continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. So he mentions this plague 3 times. He says plagues wonderful, plagues of thy seed, and even great plagues. So this is just a small portion. Again, they can't they can't test all the rodents and all the animals and bugs and things that are in the area. So of course, this is pretty much, if they found this sign and they put it out in the public, it's probably a great indication that a lot more people are being affected than a few. People are hitting the lakes. People are, these nations and different areas are being affected, whereas they, in times past, didn't have to deal with such diseases and sicknesses. And as you can see, all this is by the Lord's doing. And like you said, they mentioned in the video, many people haven't heard of this in such a long time. You heard it in the history books. So this thing can be looked up, and now it's back. All right. And of course, they made it as if, it's been here, but the Lord may increase this that much more. It says, moreover, I will bring upon thee, which is you, all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. So this is the thing when we went against our power, Yahweh Shem Shai, these diseases, the things that we had to deal with in the first Egypt. Of course, we call America Babylon, also spiritual Egypt and Sodom. Those plagues, and the Lord said he would have those things follow as well. And if you know about the plagues and the diseases and things that happen within Egypt, if you go back into Exodus, it breaks down a lot of it. And a lot of people were sick. A lot of people died. But he says, also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in this book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So if he did this unto his people, how much more the other nations, all right, the heathens, with those that he does not love. Let me get this. This is the book of, and Salakia. Let me see. Oh man, Salakia. I might have to paraphrase it. Here it is. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 22. And I was quoting it wrong. He says, therefore, let me see. Let's go back a verse just really quick. He says, verse 21, he says, with how great circumspection didst thou judge thine own sons, right? He judged us, and unto whose fathers thou hast sworn and made covenants of good promise. So he made a covenant with the children of Israel. As he said, you only have I known of all the people of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. All right. He also mentioned, he says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for their judgments, they have not known them. Praise you the Lord. The other nations have not known the judgments and the conditions in which we have received. But there's something I'm going to share with you that's actually coming upon them as we speak. He says, therefore, whereas thou didst chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. So he chastened us, right? The Lord chastened those that which he loves. But he's going to scourge the enemy 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of the goodness. And when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy, because the thing is, we see the judgments that are happening and we know that it could easily be placed upon us. So we do the work of the Heavenly Father. We come back to his ways to the best of our ability. And we try to cleave onto him more and more as we see the Lord placing forth judgments upon of all manifold ways, roughly saying that. But let's get this. So so these judgments are going to come upon the enemies very heavy. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, actually, let's read 6. And the Lord thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, and love thy power, and love the Lord thy power with all thine hearts and with all thy soul, and thou mayest live. So the Lord is going to eventually put the Spirit, the Spirit within us, where we will never go off, right? But as it starts with us having this knowledge, and as we're starting to gain this knowledge, we're starting to see the elect grow more and more, but the wicked become starting to be persecuted and judged more and more. And it says here, he says, verse 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right. So he's going to put all these curses, those just a few of what we've read. But if you go into Deuteronomy 28, you read in Leviticus, you read, many of the judgments that came, the storms, the tempests, fires, things of that nature. You look at the first Egypt and what happened. Those plagues are going to come, plus many more. And that ultimate plague, that's going to come is going to be the thermonuclear missiles. And and then you have in that third world war, and then you also have the fire that's coming from the chariots, the concentrated laser beams. So this is just something that came to mind. I noticed that the bubonic plague, it looks like it's back, and it may only increase in time. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, exhorting of some sort to the elect body of true believers. Before I end, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Until next time, all those listening and learning to you, I say, Shalom.